You know, because in other opportunities we've planted eucalyptus to tailor the passion fruit, but it really needs to go in the ground 1 year earlier. All right, if you plant the eucalyptus 1 year early, then you can plant the passion fruit by its foot. You don't even need fencing after that. You know, just let it climb on the eucalyptus.
Forget about sustainability. You want to enrich ecosystems.
Every being is equipped to live a positive, energetic balance.
Keep it pruned.
We are cultivating abundance.
Not a problem to cut down trees. The problem is not planting them.
Yo, welcome back, Agroforestry Academy crew. Today's video we're going to be talking about passion fruit inside agroforestry systems. Very naughty, very difficult to consortium in the forests. But yeah, so we're going to be sharing with you our experience and how it's worked out for us here in Situ de Jazz. All right. So before we go ahead with that, you know the crew. Sign up to the channel if you haven't signed up yet. Share the video with your friends in the end if you like the video. You know, more people that, you know, would appreciate this content. And, you know, do give us the like button or the no like button. But do leave us your feedback so that, you know, whatever happens, we're interacting and, you know, you're helping us out. You know, the algorithms, sending this to more people out there. So let's get into it. Here we have this passion fruit. It's called Perla do Cerrado, the pearl from our Cerrado. Is basically our savanna out here. It's a sweet passion fruit. I know out in Europe, it's very common sweet passion fruits of this sort, but out here they tend to be, you know, a lot of the big yellow, very acidic, you know. But so this has been a real breakthrough because it's a cross between a sweet passion fruit and a native passion fruit from the wild that's adapted to our savanna out here. So what this passion fruit actually has a lot of resistance. It's actually got a 10-year life cycle on it. All right, so that's what differs from, you know, a lot of the conventional passion fruits. You can plant this, it'll be 10 years resistance. You know, it goes through all the drought, no problem. Obviously with the irrigation and the water, it produces more. We can get 3 or 4, you know, charges of passion fruit per year on this. If you don't irrigate it, you'll only get like 2. All right. So so this is the thing with the passion fruit in the agroforestry system. You know, the passion fruit tends to want to climb up the trees. Let's have a look at this. So that's our eucalyptus there, and obviously the passion fruit has taken that, you know, and it's kind of swallowed that. And this is the thing. So if we do give it the pruning, you know, we harvest the fruit and then we give it the drastic pruning and then we save that tree that was underneath, you know, then we give it that cycle. But then you're going to prune it again. You're like, oh, but it's going to give me some fruit soon. I'll leave it just one more time and, you know, and then I'll eliminate it and things like that. But, you know, it's just so prosperous and it's so much fruit and there's so much added value to the fruit that a lot of the times you choose, you're okay with, you know, with with the beating it gives to neighboring plants because you're going to harvest so much wonderful fruit. So, you know, so things do suffer, the bananas and coffees, and, you know, this is a beautiful baru. This is a beautiful baru, and I'd hate that to get swallowed up. So these are the choices, right? I certainly won't allow that one to get swollen up. But because it's always been very small, I suppose it's got away with it because it's always been very close to the ground. This is a 5-year-old system, and this barrow has been, you know, 5 years to reach this meter high, and I'm very glad to see him there. Oh, I'm seeing some spontaneous, yeah, papayas. That's great because we used to have some papaya trees here initially. As we're 5 years down the line, they're gone now. They were here till last year, so they lasted a long time. But I guess if you are going to plant passion fruit, do plant them in the borders because it does need a lot of sun. And so it's one is an issue where it's swallowing up your plants. But if you do choose to have the passion fruit, have it in the border. So, you know, you don't have to be so radical with the pruning, with opening the light for the passion fruit. You know, we will have to be pruning the passion fruit for the other trees. But for the passion fruit, we would need to be pruning the other trees for the passion fruit because it needs light. So we're here in the border of our agroforestry system. There are plenty of interesting trees planted. I will give special attention to this avocado that was planted by seed 5 years ago. It's way over six meters high. A few papayas still in there, even though most of them have been removed. So let's go into our system here. Get tangled here in the passion fruit. Obviously this hasn't been managed for a while. Like I said, we have left it to harvest the passion fruit. So this particular passion fruit, we just like eating it, from the fruit, just like that. And you give it a little squeeze, and you get that fruit there. So we just, nice, suck it out. Yeah, so it's sweet, but it's that sweet and sour, you see. And I suppose to keep it more sweet, it really needs a lot of potassium. So as far if I was coming back and throwing ash and things like that on the regular, I'll keep it to its premium sweet. If we're just working with organic matter. Because remember, I haven't manured these areas ever since I planted them 5 years ago. None of my areas I go back and manure unless it's a vegetable system. All right, here in the shade we can see how it looked like in the beginning. So we had these poles, these in-house wood. We put these chicken fencing, right? We had the irrigation going on. So as you can see, this is like one bed, and over there was another bed of passion fruit. So we're talking about 2 beds of passion fruit. These beds, they were prepared like simple normal vegetable beds, right? And they had these poles stuck right in the center where we planted the passion fruits every 2.5 meters. And then we had tomatoes and corn as well. The corn we harvested very quick. We had some herbs as well, some other herbs as a ground cover. But the corn we harvested very quick. The tomatoes as well, they were supported on the chicken fence. I really wanted to do a chicken fence because I really wanted this passion fruit, to really, climb really nicely. So much experience where, when you got those odd wires, you really need to guide him through. With this fence, I felt like it just opened up really nicely and covered the whole wall real quick. We also had this one vegetable is really popular out here in Brazil. We call it chuchu. I think it's called CHAYOTE. I'm going to put the name here, right? And that also climbs like similar to a passion fruit, but that within 6 months I'll be harvesting, and the passion fruit is more or less a year later. So we had these 2 kind of climbing plants taken over this space. And these plants, first I harvested, like I said, 6 months worth of this chayote, chayote, and once that was harvested and done, I could have obviously left it for the next year, but that was just for the short term. And then I pruned it all down. I came here and you prune it all down here, and that fades away, and then the passion fruit comes from underneath and really takes its spot. As you can see, this passion fruit, we harvest it on the ground. We wait for it to fall and we harvest it right there. Really nice one there. Okay, so we've done a few prunings here. Sometimes we come here, we bring it back, we reduce it quite radically, and then it grows again. It just keeps everything, all the other trees safe as well, because there's quite a nice variety. So what we've done here, we had the 2 beds of passion fruit, and then we had 1 row of trees, and then another 2 beds of passion fruits there. What happened here, these 2 beds, they grew, and they were single beds, and you could once upon a time walk in the middle, but what happened is they joined up through the top. So right now it's like one big bed, you see. So I got like roots here, and I got the roots on the other beds there, and really it's just one big kind of like clump here. So in between the outside tree row, there would have been 2 rows of passion fruit, but now it's just one big passion fruit bunch, and then tree row and another big passion fruit bunch. You see, We do keep it nicely pruned. You can see the eucalyptus there. There's a lot of eucalyptus because it's raining, but there's a lot of pruning information. See how regular we prune that one down there? Because in the rainy season, it's really quick. It grows really fast. But I suppose it's okay because, you know, if it climbs on the eucalyptus, we're happy for that. Because, you know, the eucalyptus can do the beatings, can stand the beating. I just tried to preserve things like my acai trees. Oh, look at that. Ice cream bean there. So this is what it's looking like now. A little bit of a forest. This is some leftovers of that CHAYOTE. I'll figure out how you say it. There's one hanging off the tree there. Let me see if I get a zoom on that. Can you see him there? There's one hanging off the tree. They really like to hang down. Right, yeah. So basically, I mean, what I'm saying is, you know, it is delicate. It will climb on neighboring plants. Don't have nothing too fancy that you really don't want to lose out on. See, like coffees like this. I do harvest coffees like this, but look at what it's looking like. It's kind of like swallowed at the top. So, and you know, one should be cool with pruning it down, but it's just the choices because the passion fruit is so much added value that I really don't want to bring down the passion fruit now to save, you know, my timber woods and my little fancy things. So just have it in the outside border, because these kind of vines, that's what they're for in the nature, to be in the outside border, swallowing, you know, decaying trees and bringing down trees and swallowing everything and just doing that whole big mulch, you know, information. Check it out there. Some palm hearts fallen over here with just wind, but that's just nature. And surely it's gonna have a baby resprouting somewhere. There it is. There's the baby resprouting. Maybe the second time round it's gonna have a better root already growing in the spot. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, well, we're basically about to harvest a lot of passion fruit. Can you see all the eyes? You can see there's an eucalyptus here, a small eucalyptus, right next to a big trunk, right? Well, what's happened is when we planted these, we put these big trunks down, but you know, a lot of them have fallen over already because, you know, they weren't treated wood. It was just, you know, eucalyptus, and they were with a lot of rain, they were up for about 2-3 years, and then they've fallen over. But the idea was, when I put them there, I had already planted the eucalyptus so that in the future the eucalyptus would hold the fencing. But with experience now, we've seen that when you really want to make the eucalyptus live fencing, you need to plant it a year early. So this is the tip here. You need to plant the eucalyptus a year early because it's very fragile in its first year. It's very vigorous after that, but in the first year, we're always talking about it, how fragile it is. It doesn't grow as fast as other things around them. So it really gets swollen up, and you know, I didn't get the right information I wanted from that. So the tendency to what happened was these trunks fell over, it pulled the small eucalyptus over so it's on a diagonal, and then you get, you know, I had to replace it another big trunk here because it didn't work. And then now we're getting these smaller eucalyptus shooting off the side of the original one, you see. So that could be one for the future, but basically, you know, it's all about planting it one season early if you really want to make that eucalyptus, you know, because in other opportunities we've planted eucalyptus to tailor the passion fruit, but it really needs to go in the ground 1 year earlier. All right, if you plant the eucalyptus 1 year early, and then you can plant the passion fruit by its foot. You don't even need fencing after that. You know, just let it climb on the eucalyptus. I suppose that would be the way I'll do it now. Always on the outside borders, so there's a lot of sun coming in, hitting, and also, you know, less damage, you know, in the core of your forests. All right, and I wouldn't plant, you know, many expensive seedlings around that. You know, you can do with your bananas. You know, your leucanas are really great for structuring for passion fruit. And eucalyptus, other things like guavas are really good for structuring as well for passion fruit. But all of these things, in my opinion now, I'll plant it 1 year early and then introduce the passion fruit on its foot, and that by itself will tailor it. everywhere. It's going to be a great harvest. All right, guys. So that's just another little bit of information there on passion fruit. Remember, don't plant no fancy things around it. We've got some ice cream bean here, but that was just planted by seed. You know, some eucalyptus, that was real simple. I do have some noble timber wood here, but you know, we planted that by seed and it came out really well. You know, just in mavuka beds. But look, what we've got here, guanabana. Well, you know, you have to choose basically. Once you've got the passion fruit climbing on that tree, I suppose you have to choose. I got this passion fruit on my swimming pool. Let's have a quick pop there. And there I had to make a choice as well, you know, leave the passion fruit or harvest the jabuticabas. You know what, as great jabuticabas are, they give you flower, they give you fruit 2 weeks in a year. It's very quick. You've got 2 weeks to harvest and then it's gone. Passion fruit gave me about 4 charges. So I've made a choice. I've given up on my jabuticaba, which was the most blessed jabuticaba in the farm. And you know, I just let it get taken over. You know, the passion fruit took it over. And it was a choice just to, you know what, let it be, man. Let it be. Let's have a look at that. All right. So that's my jabuticaba tree and that's my macadamia tree. I really want to save the macadamia tree. I'm going to harvest that last passion fruit there. I swear I'm going to prune it all down and save the macadamia tree. I suppose I could save the jabuticaba still. But every time I have to make that choice, I don't know, I just value the passion fruit a lot more. It just feels like it's such a great fruit for the market. And then I got it all around the swimming pool. This is for the ducks basically. This pool's not even active, it's just duck pool. But yeah, so we prune everything down. We prune it down to like 1.5 meters. And then the trees grow in the back, the leucaenas grow, and the passion fruit grows with it, and it's crazy. See leucaenas on the other side of the pool there, all of that gets taken over by passion fruit. Have a few black velvet beans growing here. Just for, you know, I let it be, just a little bit controlled, just make sure I got seeds next year. A little bit around the house, I don't mind it. I'm always harvesting seeds from here. Yeah, look at the passion fruits. They love just climbing down on trees. Have it in the borders, man. I'm gonna save you, baby. I'm gonna save this macadamia because I really want to harvest the seeds from this to plant on. All right. From the Agroforestry Academy crew. Till next time, this one's you.